Hi, second grade. Today we are working on Skills Unit 3, lesson number 18. It's a fairly short lesson for today. Our learning targets: by the end of our time together, we will have read and written words with U sounds. We will be reading the story Jump, and you will be working on some independent work in your Unit 3 workbooks. The first part is a workbook note. It's 18.1 and 18.2. There's a chart on 18.1 and it shows a set of words that all make the U sound. The words have been sorted into their columns based on their spelling that was used to make the U sound. We've made some of those tables ourselves in our Google Forms recently. Your job is to read the words aloud in each column, and then on 18.2 there's a set of questions for you to answer, sort of like a scavenger hunt, using the words from 18.1 as the answers. Okay, I'll give you a couple of examples, but this is an independent activity. For example, on 18.2, question number 1 says, which spelling for the U sound is the least common? So I'm going to look up at 18.1 and ask myself which column has the fewest words, and I notice that this last column has fewer words than the first two, and that is the spelling UE to make the U sound. There's another clue, number 3, that says which word in the chart is the name of a flower. So you need to read through 18.1 and ask yourself, which word is the same as a flower on this page? 18.3, 18.4, and 18.5 are all also activities that you can work on at home with your families. There is a game on 18.3. It's all about Sunshine the Mule, and you have to help Farmer Chester get Sunshine the Mule back to the barn. So you have some directions on there, and it's stuff that you can play at home with your family. And 18.4 and 18.5 are the game cards that you would use for it. Okay, next up, we are going to talk about the story Jump today. Jump is in a new section of our reader. Jump and The Dispute are both in purple because those two stories go together. We're not going to be partner reading, we will read it together. Okay, and you're going to, on your Google form, so while you're listening to the story, I want you to pick out a character, because you're going to have to pick one of those characters to describe using adjectives or describing words when you get to your Google form. Okay? Let's see. This is what I want. All right, drive down 10th Street in the summer and you will see them, the jumpers. You will see kids jumping rope on playgrounds and on street corners. Jumping rope is something lots of kids like to do, but most kids are not as good at it as the jumping stars. The last time I met with the jumping stars was in August. They were jumping at the playground where they hang out. 2 of them were spinning the rope. 2 of them were jumping over the rope as it spun past. The rope was spinning so fast it was hard to see it. The jumpers' feet went pit-pat, pit-pat, pit-pat on the blacktop. This sport is named jumping rope, but that makes it sound so much less cool than it actually is. The kids don't just jump, they dance. They twist and spin, they hop and skip, they flip, they land on their hands and then pop back up on their feet. They do all of this while jumping over a rope at top speed. It is an art form, like dancing. There are 4 jumpers on the jumping stars. Pay attention to their names. We have Kit Winter, Joe Palmer, Kate Agee, and Jalen Smith. Kit and Joe are the top jumpers. Kit is 16. She's an awesome jumper. She has been jumping rope since she was 5. She's also one of the most cheerful kids I know. Kit has a great smile. She's always quiet. She always keeps her cool. I have never seen her get mad. Joe is something else. She jumps like a goddess, and sometimes she acts like one too. She plans the tricks they do. She says who goes where, and she is the boss. The day I visited, the jumping stars were practicing a trick Joe had made up for herself and Kit. It was called the flip. When the stars do the flip, Joe starts out jumping next to Kit. Then she draws near to Kit. Then she flips over Kit's back and lands on the far side. Both of them keep jumping all the while. It's a cool trick. I looked on as the kids did the flip 6 times. 3 times they nailed it. 3 times they missed it. You could see Joe was upset when she and Kit muffed the trick. Jo would moan and groan. She would cross her arms and sulk. Jo would set her hands on her hips like a mom who's mad at her kids. But Jo was mad at herself, so she went and sat on the lawn. After a bit, the jumping stars paused for a rest. That gave me a chance to chat with them. "There's a big jumping contest next week," Kit explained. "Think you can win it?" I asked. "I hope so," said Kit. "Last time we were 7th." "Nice job," I said. "7th is not good," Jo said. Kit and the rest of the jumping stars nodded, but they did not seem to feel the pain of 7th place quite as much as Jo. "That flip you were practicing, will you be doing that one at the meet?" "I hope so," said Jo. "We need to get good at it. We need to get to the point where we nail it 9 times out of 10. Then Jo said to her teammates, "Let's do it. We are going to keep practicing from dawn until dusk, until we can do the flip in our sleep." All right. So your job, after you are finished with this video, is to go into your Google Classroom. You're going to do a couple of different things. You're going to be practicing words with the U sound. You have another copy of the story Jump. And when you reread the story Jump, I want you to choose one of the 4 jumpers. So remember, you have Kit, Jo, Kate, or Jalen. We didn't really hear much about Kate or Jalen, so I would prefer you to choose Kit or Jo. And you're going to describe them using 3 adjectives, okay? So for example, the word girl is not an adjective because it is a noun. It doesn't describe. An adjective is a word that describes someone. If somebody is brave, or if somebody is honest, or if somebody is trustworthy, those are all words that describe them. It's a character trait and it's an adjective. You will be writing those adjectives to describe one of the jumpers from the jumping stars today. So go ahead and get into your Google Forms and complete that work. If you need any help, just ask. We are here to help you. Nice job.